That was 100.
And it's also important that I 1,000,000,000% disagree with Kraig's interpretation of the situation. Not even close. We literally don't agree.
Yeah.
That's what don't you agree with? You're saying that everything I said is wrong? Are you fucking crazy, nigga? When I told you the week before, I told you. You know what I told you?
And
okay, and what?
I still don't agree.
Okay, but don't say I'm saying what I'm saying is wrong, because what I'm saying is not wrong.
I don't agree.
Okay, so what don't you agree with?
This is the theme song to my channel. This is Mr. Platt's accurate opinion. If you disagree, kiss my ass.
Alright, so recently I posted a clip from Kraig Smith podcast about Kevin McCall and Brandyn almost getting into it. They later on squashed it.
I had allegations of the second victim, alleged victim, which I did hit her because she hit me. You feel what I'm saying? Which is not cool. I understand. I understand. I understand.
I know you
understand.
heard it from all your OGs on that.
Right.
But
and I've even beat up niggas over this. So if you want to fade over this, if you feel like I shouldn't hit women, catch a fade outside, bro.
Right.
So don't sit here right here and act like you think I'm some weird ass nigga, bro.
I don't.
Shut the fuck up, my nigga. I'm a real ass nigga.
Well, this episode, they talked about it. Kraig and Brandyn had a disagreement about what happened during the Kevin McCall altercation. I somewhat agree with Kraig from the standpoint of, hey man, before you start asking certain things or making certain comments, make sure you tap into that motherfucker's world first. You have to tap into someone's world to see where they're coming from. You can't just assume shit. But on this episode, they talked about what happened. Kraig and Brandyn had a little disagreement. They later on squashed it, which is something they always do on this podcast. This is why this is one of my favorite podcasts. You just got some alpha males in one room disagreeing and yelling all the fucking time. But at the end, it's all love, it's all respect. And that's what I love to see. Like, we can agree to disagree, but just don't be disrespectful with your disagreement, if that makes sense. It's like the late great Patrice O'Neal once said, do you have an opinion, or does your opinion have you? And on this podcast, it's just a bunch of grown men with opinions. Their opinions don't have them. That's why they can yell and argue, but at the end, they can dap it up and still be cool. And that's why this podcast is one of my favorite podcasts, and it's also why I'm so glad Kraig Smith is not on the 5150 podcast anymore, because I don't know what the fuck that shit is. I don't know what the fuck happened to 5150, man, which I will also do a video about, because that show just got fucking weird, man. But as far as this show, this is like in my top 2 as far as podcast goes. I don't know what my other one is. Probably Joe Rogan or something like that. But yeah, man, I'm going to show y'all the slight disagreement they had. Y'all can leave y'all thoughts and comments. As always, thanks for watching. With that being said, on to the next.
So we don't get the opportunity to be vulnerable, and without vulnerability, there's no connection. So we almost become like these trophies that people look at, they admire, but we can't really connect because we're not weak.
But that's a mistake I think Brandyn made in that line of questioning is I felt like you got to get in somebody's world before you start trying to pull certain shit out of it, because if you talk to them from a position outside the world, it's going to feel like judgment. Yeah, so I felt like even though it was an error in perception, and even though Brandon's question was a great question, that I feel like he's the best at this shit, at asking questions.
Hell yeah!
But even though it was a great question, and from my perspective, in that situation, Brandyn didn't do a good job of getting into his world before he tried to extrapolate information that he wasn't necessarily qualified to get from him. Now, if he would have felt like Brandyn is, you know what I'm saying? Brandyn is not being biased,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Brandyn is really like, he just wants information, and I felt like maybe it would have ended a little bit different. But that's the only mistake I see. But that's from my perspective.
Yeah.
You know, I disagree with your perception.
Yeah. I mean, but
And I
as an
see-
artist, I have to connect with people all the time on stage that I don't know. And I have to get them to understand the way that I think in order to evoke the response of laughter and what I'm saying. So that's something that I know how to do naturally, is to get people comfortable with the line of question. And it's like dealing with a woman. Yeah. A woman that's been sexually abused, a lot of times, you can't say, hey, bitch, you been raped? Why you acting like that?
Real shit.
You
Hey,
can't do that. You feel what I'm saying? You got to get to know her, and then she'll start to reveal that to you because she's comfortable. I just want to let you know the reason I act like this is because I've been sexually abused, and I'm not comfortable around men. But if I just start off like, bitch, why you so jumpy? You been raped a few times, bitch?
Yeah.
You're going to get that type of response.
And like, and on his end, like, I see how a man like that can be triggered. The fact that he's had the world speak for him, and he hasn't been able to speak for himself. He comes around us. He's getting some honest questions. Was here Tuesday, great show, straight up questions. Here Thursday, great show. And then that question being asked, I can see it being a trigger point because it goes from, hold on, I thought this was some family type shit.
Right.
To now you asking like
on a curveball.
Yeah, so I can see.
I want to come up here for this, and now we talking about that.
But that's why it was just a moment in time.
But
he snapped in a moment, but he also snapped out of it just as fast as he got in it.
And it wasn't Brandyn he was responding
It wasn't.
to. It was the world he was responding to. If these motherfuckers keep piling this shit on top of me, and I don't know Brandyn, but he's speaking for millions right now. But maybe that, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? So it's like, that's where we have to be delicate, because as we bring people on here who have a little bit more status, I don't want to be viewed as the show that is being that's being biased towards somebody else's side. We got to be, as media, our responsibility is to be neutral on things like that. You know what I'm saying? And provide a line of questioning that can get the right information to the people.
Yeah. And there's a way to lead in with those type of people. I see both sides, because number one, you coming on the show, if you've watched any episodes, you know Brandon's gonna go in.
Right.
So you have to be kind of open, and if there are a set of questions you don't want asked, I feel like in advance you should be able to put some bullet points out, like don't touch these. One. Yeah. Two, I also feel like when you're dealing with that type of caliber person who's been through that much, there's a certain way to ask questions that are lead-ins. Like I did a little research on his backstory, and I'm finding out, damn, he went through some baby mama shit in Georgia. He went through this, that. So I shared my story that was similar, kind of as a nudge.
Right.
Not telling him directly. I'm like, when I was in Atlanta, I dealt with this, and the baby mama, and that nigga lit up, and he was like, nigga, me too. And then he just started cutting into it.
Right.
So I see both sides, but at the same time, when you come on this show, at least for me, if I'm coming on this show and I've watched a few episodes and I know this nigga gonna cut into me, and I know I might get bagged on, I'm gonna send you a bullet point email.
But the same thing I told you, I told Brandyn before he came on the show. So this wasn't a walk into the blind. This was that
he already
felt like,
nothing.
yeah. But I mean, it does in a way, because he feels like he's gonna do it the way he wants to do it, and he has the right to do it that way. But if I disagree with that, I'm gonna voice that.
Facts.
Because to me, that shit should have never happened. He wasn't wrong, but we could have handled that a little bit better, bro. This month we could have got shot up. Anything could have happened the other day. You feel what I'm saying?
The funny thing, someone told me this. They said that, which Kevin kind of alluded to that. Because he kind of was defensive because it was B. If any other one of us had asked him that question, he wouldn't raise up like that.
Right.
Because it's like
why you think that?
Because it's B. Because we know. So he's expecting. He's a fan, so he's expecting B to go from here to here. That's when we got outside. Remember, he was like, I didn't know where you were taking it. I didn't know where you were going. Right. That's why it's like, oh shit, he was expecting the worst.
Well, I don't reveal too much that we talked about.
Well, no, he said it.
I mean, that's between us.
He said it on air.
We make mistakes, bro. We learn in this process, nigga. You know what I'm saying? We learn in this process of interviewing, but at the end of the day, niggas ain't perfect, and Brandyn wasn't wrong, and he wasn't wrong. You know what I'm saying? And we settled it. And that's what niggas do. I'm not the type of nigga where I'm going to try to blackball a motherfucker from fucking with me because they got a different opinion than me. Yeah, and then tell other people not to fuck with that person because I don't fuck with them. And then try to ruin opportunities because a nigga's not doing what I think he should do. Men have a difference in opinion.
But I honor that you didn't sensationalize it. You could have been one of them niggas. Keep the cameras running.
Yeah.
Let them niggas do their thing. No, let's cut this shit.
Yeah.
Let's handle it and come back and handle it like real men.
Yeah,
that was 100.
And it's also important that I 1,000,000,000% disagree with Kraig's interpretation of the situation. Not even close. We literally don't agree.
Yeah.
What don't you agree with? You're saying that everything I said is wrong? Are you fucking crazy, nigga? When I told you the week before, I told you. You know what I told you?
And
okay, and what?
I still don't agree.
Okay, but don't say I'm saying what I'm saying is wrong, because what I'm saying is not wrong.
I don't agree.
Okay, so what don't you agree with?
Your assessment of your assessment of is a what if. What if this could have happened, that could happen, that could happen. And I'm not viewing it that way. Literally at all.
So how are you viewing it?
I thought, for me, I thought everything was fine. At the end of the day. How you're looking at it is if this could have, you're basically how you're saying is let's say I jaywalk, I don't get hit by a car, but am I more likely to get hit by a car jaywalking than waiting till the light turns green? Mm-hmm. Yes. So you're looking at a percentage something very, very bad could have happened. So maybe you should phrase your questions differently. I'm looking at absolutely.
No, that's not what I'm saying. But
then where's the disconnect?
What I'm saying is sometimes there's a way to get information where it doesn't seem combative. And in that particular situation, I don't feel like the evoking or asking a line of questioning that would evoke that type of response would have been necessary. I feel like he would have divulged it and just gave the information up where it didn't have to be that, or we didn't have to risk that.
Well, we don't know that.
We got a lot of information out of the dude, bro.
Yeah, but we're saying we don't know that. And the follow up to that question that I have, I have all my questions always written on my phone. Also, the narrative, we weren't creating that narrative anyway. And that's what was understood when there was a conversation.
Creating what narrative?
That he's this fucking monster. That wasn't the narrative that we were creating at all.
No, but
you see what I'm saying? Well,
but what I'm saying is this: somebody reaches out to come do the show because they're a fan of the show and they want to talk about shit on air that they haven't talked about to anybody else.
Give us a list of stuff you don't want to talk about.
You know what I'm saying? I'm coming, man. You know, I fuck with the show, Kraig. I fuck with you heavy, man. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk about everything, bro. And you know what I'm saying? Just, you know what I'm saying? Treat me with some love, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I that's how I'll summarize it. Oh yeah, for sure. Come down to the show. Both days went great. I don't even think the question that you asked was wrong. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like we just have different styles of doing things. To say that my shit is wrong when my shit got us 4.5 hours of gold motherfucking reporting is an error in perception. I did what I was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever want a guest to feel like to be in a situation where they feel like they're not in a safe environment.
But I don't think Kevin feels that.
No, but at that moment he responded because it didn't feel safe.
He didn't understand until he understood.
Right. Go ahead.
So, I think we had 2 days, and we spent 3 hours open. He opened up to us for about 3 hours, and you weren't here, so he didn't get a chance to really get personable with you.
No rapport was built.
No rapport was built. So then we get into about another hour, and you started asking questions to him, and then he got offended because you didn't. He may have seen you, but y'all didn't have a conversation. Y'all didn't. He didn't open up to you for the past 3.5 hours.
So I just feel like I don't.
And I disagree with that too.
I mean, it's cool to disagree with it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
he watches the show, so within that,
Brandyn, you haven't been on the show in like a month and a half. How do you know he's seen episodes that you were on?
He told me.
Okay, well, there you go. So he said, I seen episodes that you were on, and you okay?
Yeah, he told me.
Did you think that they was gonna scrap when you was watching?
Well, did I think they were gonna fight? No, because I knew.
Why we highlighting that part again?
I'm just saying, far as like even, as far as even to get down. That's what I was saying. Like even with the Vlad TV and the shit, they highlighting. The question was something that everybody wanted to hear, and once we came back and y'all was talking that other shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's talk about that. The if you should have asked the question, and if, you know what I'm saying, was it the right time to ask it, and did you time it? That's something you would come into. That's something we all are coming to. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And I just think that's what Kraig is saying about what he feels about. I don't think he's saying anything you said was wrong. I just think he's saying it's like, okay, well, if this type of person, because I know the type of nigga Kev is. Right. I got friends like that. They're like, they got certain shit you can talk to them about and certain shit you can't.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, but you can talk to them about the other shit. It's just how you get at him about it. You know what I'm saying? And if a nigga not gonna feel it, he gonna feel it, or he not gonna feel it. But he didn't feel it. So I'm saying, I'm not worried about that. I don't think they was gonna fight because Kev didn't jump up and like, nigga, what's happening? Catch a fade is, I don't gotta go outside to catch a fade. Nigga, I jump over the table and get busy. You know what I'm saying? So that's when a nigga really mad like that. I didn't see that. So that's why I know it can be talked about, and I like the way we communicate now, we communicating then. You know what I'm saying? I just want to let niggas know. Because niggas talking about world star. Shut your bitch ass up.
Hey, what I really think it is just being tactful, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially when we're dealing with our own people. And as things grow, you might start talking to people with a little bit more prestige, right? And you don't want people to think that they can't come and communicate with you. You know what I mean? And then, like, there's 2 shows, right? The first one, you wasn't there talking to them. So the second one, you come in there and you have to kind of build more rapport to start saying things that are more, you know, closer to the vest for him. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you want to ease that out. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I think Kraig is saying and Cash is saying. Just being a little more tactful. You know what I mean?
Well, man, definitely, man.
I must be used to these cookie cutter fucking shows. They're just gonna fucking coddle some shit, bro. We gonna ask some questions and move on. You know what I'm saying? And that was understood when we had a conversation. And where we were going with it, that's between myself and him, what we had outside of the convo. That's what we were trying to paint was that, and he kind of jumped the gun, which is okay. It's okay to get upset. Like I'm not. Nobody's upset with Kev. But what I'm saying, what you're basing this shit off of some other shit you've seen. Base it off of this show. This show ain't like the other shows you watch that are gonna coddle everybody that comes on. So if there's questions you don't want to be asked, give us a list. Mm-hmm. If there's a fear of Brandyn, like, oh, this guy's gonna do this, let me know. Hey, B, I don't want you to. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Yeah. But if there's no list of anything, we're gonna go for it.
Are you gonna answer? As long as you answer every question that's asked to you, because if there's gonna be somebody that comes in here one day and gonna be like, well, what about? You asking me what happened when I was 2 or why I went to jail for 6 years? What's up with you? So as public figures, the reason that we share our life stories is because one, so you can't use it against me, and 2, I'm trying to show you I'm an honest, open motherfucker. I'm not gonna want nothing from you that I'm not willing to give myself. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we have. That's one of the things that we have to do to maintain the integrity of this show is to make sure we do what we've been doing and share our lives with people so we can be justified in asking certain questions. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody said, this nigga Brandyn looked like I fell off. Like,
what? Like Dozy fell off?
Brandyn looked like Dozy if he fell off.
We're going to go to a commercial break, man.
Put them likes up, man. Shout outs to Kev, man. It's important to highlight again, bro.
Yes, sir.
The resolution.
Yeah.
Yes.
I worked it out and finished it.
And Vlad TV, let me tell Vlad something. Nigga, next time you share our shit, share the link to our show, you bitch ass nigga. You got all them views from us, nigga, and didn't share the link to the show. So now the motherfuckers don't know where to go. Kraig Facts Podcast is where you're supposed to be at. Fuck Vlad TV as a record company, a label, and as a crew. And if you down with Vlad TV, fuck you too. Chino Excel, fuck you too.
Fuck your shit, my nigga.
This is the theme song to my channel. This is Mr. Platts' accurate opinion. If you disagree, kiss my ass.